Alright, what's going on? We're back out here on the river, and today we're fishing out of my kayak here. So the goal is going to be targeting some bigger sized carp. You know, we've been fishing from shore pretty much all week, and yes, we've caught some fish, but they're not really the size class that I'm looking for. So today I'm going to be scouting out a couple spots that you can't access from shore, and hopefully we can find a larger caliber of fish. That being said, I gotta finish getting everything I need in this boat here right now, and hopefully it doesn't take too long before we start reeling some in and showing off to the camera. Alright, so as I'm paddling out to what I think is gonna be my first spot, I'm looking for signs of carp. So carp are actually one of those species that's pretty easy to see with your eyes. Like oftentimes when you have an area like this with lily pads and shallow mud, you'll see the carp's back or tails out of the water, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to see that type of behavior here today, but if I'm floating down a spot and I see like a big mud cloud, like a big puff of mud, that's a pretty good indication that that was a carp there. So I'm going to keep looking and paddling as I go down this bank and see if we can't see something that looks carpy. I'm not seeing much life up in the shallows, like from the weed edge to shore, which is a good sign because I want to catch them out deeper anyway. What I'm going to be focusing on here is, if you can imagine like a stair step. Up here I'm on like the top step, which is about 1.5 feet, 2 foot deep. Right off this weed ledge it drops to like 3.5 foot, and then there's another drop that goes to like 4.5 to 7, 6.5, 7. I'm going to be putting my baits in that open water, somewhere in like that 4 foot zone and somewhere maybe in like that 6 foot zone. It's been like unseasonably warm this year, so I'm thinking that that would be a better section of river to focus on for trying to catch these fish. Alright, all that being said, I need to anchor up. So when you're fishing for carp from a kayak, it's like extremely important that your boat isn't swaying around or moving in the wind. We're pretty lucky here today where I don't have a ton of wind, but I don't want to move at all. I don't want my baits sliding on the bottom. If your baits are sliding on the bottom of the river, they're gonna find a snag, and then you're just gonna be losing tackle. It's pretty frustrating. So I think I'm gonna come up here, get my boat into the lily pads a little bit, because the lily pads will help kind of keep you in one section if the wind does pick up. And then I have 2 anchors. So I'm going to double anchor my my kayak up here right now, and I'll show you how I do that. Anchor number 1, just a little red kayak anchor. I throw this one off to the right side of the boat as far as I can in the lily pads. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to anchor it, cleat it right here so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing to this one. Yep, just throw this one out this way as well. I'm not going to throw this one as far. The reason I'm not throwing this one as far is because I'm going to have this one with a little bit shorter rope and cleat off the shorter rope here right now. And then what I'm going to do with the one that's on the longer side is I'm going to pull my boat tight this way until this rope on this left side is totally stretched out. And what that's basically doing is stringing my boat up like a hammock so it's not going to move at all. One thing that makes this extremely easy is the type of cleat that I have on my kayak. It's just these zigzag cleats. It just goes like that, and now my boat is anchored up. Actually, do the opposite. Pull it this way. Just like that, we're anchored up and we're not going to be moving around. So I'm going to take this off and take these out. Alright, here we go. Using my standard pack bait here. It's probably the bait I use for carp fishing at least 80% of the time. All it is panko breadcrumbs, some sort of red jello mix. Cherry is my favorite, and a can of sweet corn. Family size thing of sweet corn. Works pretty well, and the fish respond well to it. That's why I keep using it. It's pretty easy. Just pack it around that weight like that and cast it out. What I like about it is you're able to get a nice little ball of bait exactly where your hook is. Alright, there we go. Got 2 rods out. Alright. Took a minute, but we got one on. feels like a duck. So I'm gonna reel this one in to avoid complications. Back. That was perfect here. Strong one. Now, of course, he's by logs and weed and stuff. We're gonna have to undo the anchor. Unbelievable. Hell of a first one for the day. Just gotta pull him out of this. If he's still on, yeah, he's still on. Not big, but he's strong. It's your. Come on, man. Okay, I'm gonna land you on this side. In the net. In the net. I'm gonna have to bring him in the boat because he's not cooperating with me. Yeah. Little butterball of a carp with a really weird mouth. Could be why I've been missing them. They're all strangely beat up. Nice orange fins on this guy though. Looks real nice and pretty. Fought hard. Just flopping. Had to throw him back there. Fun stuff. Rinse this net off. Get that back. Cool. Let's slide back and do it again. Alright. It's just too hot out here in the sun. Alright. I'm going to come back to this spot when the sun gets a little bit lower. I'm just baking out here in the sun, and there's like almost no wind, which is kind of crazy for this time of year. I'm going to switch and go to... I'm going to switch things up and go to the shady side of the river just to cool off a little bit.
A few days prior to this, a buddy of mine had sent me a photo of a 27-inch walleye he caught out of the Fox River. And as I'm making my way over to this bank, I decided to throw around a couple bass things to see what I can catch. I put on a white chatterbait, and for whatever reason, I just don't have a lot of confidence with the chatterbait. I don't use it too often and just haven't had much luck with it. But I'm trying to get confidence with it, so I stuck with this one pretty long, and it didn't take that much time before I got an absolute giant thump.
I just hooked something big. This could be a flathead. Just throwing that thing around. Yeah, this is probably a flathead. All right. This is crazy. On the little chatterbait. I hope it's not snagged. I hope it's in the mouth. It feels like it is. Got the head shakes like it is. Oh my goodness. I'm so thankful I have a net today. So many times I come out in the kayak, no net. It's just taking me wherever he wants to take me. He's just gluing himself to the bottom. There's not much I really can do. I'm just thankful we're out here in the middle of the river and not by logs and stuff, because this is not the right tackle for this. And if he were to go into a log jam or under the cliff face in one of those holes, there's not a chance I'd get him out. Alright, not quite as big as I thought he was, but a decent one. And he ate it! Yes! Yes, it's in his mouth.
I must have gotten water on the microphone on this section of the clip because the audio here is just completely unusable, but I still wanted to show off this catch. Now, early on with this hookup, I knew I had a big flathead on, but I was getting nervous on whether or not I had snagged it or if the fish actually ate my bait. If you just saw right there, I pulled the chatterbait out of that fish's mouth, which makes me feel a lot better. It's an actual catch. It's pretty good stuff. Now, this isn't a giant flathead by any means. I'd probably put it around, I'd say 11 to 14 pounds. But he thumped the lure and fought super hard. There's a pretty deep section of river right there, so he was able to use that full water column to fight, and he felt way bigger than what he actually was.
Alright, that's enough looking at him. He's sick. Let's get him back. One of my favorite fish of the Midwest. Be able to catch it on a lure is so cool. Alright. That was that.
So after I caught that nice flathead, I threw that chatterbait around for about another hour, hour and a half. And I just didn't have much luck. It was also pretty clear that it probably wasn't going to happen that day. So I went back and set back up for carp on the shadier side of the bank, got lines out, and it didn't take long before I got another good hit.
Little guy, I think. I'm just now realizing I'm having to pull this over my anchor rope, and that makes me so nervous. He doesn't feel huge to me. Oh, maybe he is a little better. Oh, that's a much better fish than I thought it was. Oh, that's a 20. Oh, she soaked me. Kidding me. Missed him. Alright. I'm trying to net this fish a little green. I've missed a few in the past few days, and I don't want to lose this guy. This is a good one for the kayak. There we go. In the net. Oh, he's got somebody else's line on him. He broke somebody off. I'll get my hook out and somebody else's hook out. Alright. I'm using a barbless hook, so it comes out real easy. Mine's already out. Then he's got this line, which is looking like it's down his gullet. Alright. How are you hooked? Oh. Someone made a ghetto stringer, and he broke off the ghetto stringer. It's just a bunch of line tied around his mouth. Not even heavy line, like 10-pound test. I thought he ate it. Alright, so helped him out. Alright, here's the first decent one of the day. This one's probably in that 20s. Not a bad fish from the kayak, really. Solid, thick. They get so fat in the springtime, or in the summer. What am I saying? They get so thick in the fall. That's the time of year that we're in. They look good. They fought hard. I'm gonna let this one go. Here we go. She just zipped right off. It's honestly a picture perfect day. It's bright blue skies, almost no clouds, no wind, which is crazy, unbelievably rare for this time of year. So I'm not complaining about that at all. It's so easy to position my boat with no wind. But I'm wondering if that's not affecting the bite at all. We caught a couple, but not quite the size that we're looking for. I'm not complaining, even if it sounds like that. I'm just really trying to figure out where the bigger ones are. This is a warmer year. The pattern's a little bit different, and they're not where I'd expect them to be. So, gonna keep on experimenting. Maybe shift down the bank a little bit further and see if they're not in the deepest water I can find. There we go. Come on. There she is. That one feels a little good. That one feels really good. This one was tapping on it for so long. This one feels massive. I'm not gonna say that. It feels good. This one feels really good. This one might not be a carp. Oh, come on. Oh, it's definitely a carp. It's a big carp. It popped off. He was going right to the anchor rope. I had to put too much power on him too fast. He ended up getting in all in my other line. Unbelievable. That was a big one. All right, that's a good one too. All right, let's fix that camera. It's doing the same thing that the other one did. Does not feel as big. Just gonna take my time. He's already making a huge mess. Well, he's in the net. He also splashed me. What a crazy little one that one was. What a mess. He got tangled up in the rope. I gotta go figure out what's going on with this other line. He's all spun up in that. But he's in the net. He made it to the net. This guy sure is spunky. Show him off to the camera here. Missing a couple scales on the front side, so it'll be easy to tell if you catch this one again. But he's probably in that 12 to 15 pound, maybe 16, I don't know. In that ballpark. He's good, he fought hard, and he sure did make a mess of everything that I had out there. So, all that being said, I'm gonna get him back pretty quick. Is this one on? Or is this one getting messed with? Yep. Ah, that one swims straight at me. Oh, that scared me. What is happening? Oh, he's not big. That's what's going on. Not big, but sure is strong. Wow, how can these fish find the anchor rope as easily as they do? He could juke out anything, huh? No net needed. Honestly, not too crazy. Maybe 3 pounds, if I had to guess. I never really weigh fish, so I'm just kind of really guessing, but it's kind of cool to have a number to gauge size off of, especially for you guys watching at home. Alright, so that was kind of gross. That last little fish must have been a male because it was milking on me. So carp are actually a species that can spawn twice in the same year, depending if it's warm enough, and it's definitely warm enough this year. So I guess there's going to be a second spawn. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. on why we're struggling to find the bigger class fish. They're probably have other things on their mind. Alright, so I might leave carp alone for a little bit and try for something else. Maybe go for muskie or go up north and get me a sturge. Alright, well, it looks like we're going to have to leave the fish biting here tonight because I ran out of bait. But all in all, I had a pretty good little Sunday. Caught some fish, a halfway decent carp, and a nice bonus flathead on artificial. So that flathead alone kind of made the whole day special, and everything on top of that was a bonus. I need to paddle back and kind of hurry my butt up because I want to get the kayak on top of the car before the bugs eat me alive. But I appreciate you guys watching, and looking forward to the next time I'm on the water. Hope to see you guys all there. Appreciate it.